Have you ever wondered why the mighty US and Israel refrained from a direct war with Iran? This question invites us to explore a complex global conflict that has been simmering for decades, a conflict that involves three significant players: the United States, Israel, and Iran. To understand the current situation, it's crucial to look at the historical context. Tensions between these nations are not a recent development. They can be traced back to the mid-20th century, when the political landscape of the Middle East began to change dramatically. The rise of the Islamic Republic in Iran in the late 70s, the evolving relationship between the United States and Israel, and the shifting dynamics in the region have all contributed to the current standoff. The United States and Israel, despite their military prowess and global influence, have been hesitant to engage in a direct war with Iran. But why is that? One of the key reasons is the potential for massive regional destabilization. A direct conflict could ripple through the Middle East, impacting not just these nations, but the entire world. Another reason is the potential human cost. War is not just about military strategy and political power, it's about people. A direct conflict with Iran could result in a tragic loss of life and a humanitarian crisis that would take years to resolve. Moreover, Iran's strategic position and its alliances also serve as a deterrent. A military engagement with Iran could draw in other nations, transforming a bilateral conflict into a multi-front war. This could lead to a protracted and costly conflict, one that could have far-reaching implications for global peace and security. Finally, there's the nuclear factor. Iran's nuclear program has been a contentious issue, and a direct conflict could escalate into a nuclear standoff, an outcome that every rational actor on the global stage wants to avoid. As we delve deeper into this conflict, it becomes clear that the stakes are high and the consequences could be dire. This is not merely a game of risk on a global scale, but a real-life situation with potential for devastation that is hard to comprehend. As we move forward, it's crucial to understand these dynamics to navigate the path to peace. What makes Iran a formidable opponent despite the power and influence of the US and Israel? To answer this question, we need to delve into a few key areas: Iran's strategic advantages, its military capabilities, and its alliances. Let's start with strategic advantages. Iran sits in a geographical sweet spot, sharing borders with several countries and overseeing major maritime routes. This location gives it a unique strategic advantage, allowing it to exert considerable influence over the region. It's like having a bird's-eye view of the chessboard and being able to make calculated moves. Moving on to military capabilities, Iran is no pushover. Its armed forces are among the largest in the Middle East, and they have been fine-tuned through years of conflict and sanctions. Additionally, Iran's military strategy is built on a foundation of asymmetric warfare, focusing on its strengths while exploiting the weaknesses of its adversaries. This includes a vast network of proxies throughout the region, enabling Iran to project power far beyond its borders. Now let's talk about alliances. Iran has fostered a network of relationships with other countries and non-state actors, creating a web of alliances that extends its influence and provides additional resources. These alliances can serve as a buffer, absorbing and deflecting some of the pressures from the US and Israel. But there's more to this conflict than military might and strategic positioning. The economic and political implications of a potential conflict are substantial. The global economy is intricately linked, and a conflict could send shockwaves through markets worldwide. Politically, a direct conflict with Iran could have far-reaching consequences, affecting elections and political climates in numerous countries. So there you have it. The power dynamics in this conflict are complex and multifaceted. Iran, despite being seemingly outmatched by the US and Israel, has its own set of advantages that make it a formidable opponent. The balance of power in this conflict isn't as straightforward as it might initially appear. How does this conflict affect the rest of the world, and why should we care? The conflict between the US, Israel, and Iran isn't just a local dispute, it's a global concern. Picture a stone thrown into a pond. The ripples are the impacts of this conflict, spreading out and influencing far-flung corners of the globe. Let's start with international trade. Iran is a significant player in the global oil market, Any conflict involving Iran could disrupt oil supplies worldwide, leading to price hikes and economic instability. Just like a car needs gasoline to run, the world economy needs oil. A disruption in oil supply can seriously impact the global economic engine. Then there's global security. The US and Israel are key players in maintaining international peace and stability. A direct conflict with Iran could divert their resources and focus away from other global hotspots. This could create power vacuums and opportunities for rogue states and terrorists to escalate their activities. A destabilized world is like a house of cards. One wrong move and everything could come crashing down. And we cannot forget regional stability. The Middle East is a region marked by centuries of complex political and religious tensions. A conflict involving the US, Israel, and Iran could spark a wider regional war, leading to unimaginable humanitarian crises. It's like a lit match near a barrel of gunpowder, with the potential to ignite a catastrophic explosion. Finally, there's the potential impact on diplomatic relations. A conflict of this magnitude could force nations to take sides, straining alliances and creating new geopolitical divisions. It's like a game of chess, where every move alters the balance of power and changes the dynamics of the game. In summary, the conflict between the US, Israel, and Iran is not just their problem. It's a global issue that affects everyone, whether directly or indirectly. It's a storm brewing on the horizon, and no one is immune to its potential fallout. The ripple effects of this conflict extend far beyond the borders of these three nations. Where do we stand now, and what does the future hold for this conflict? As we tread into the current scenario, we see a tenuous balance of power between the US, Israel, and Iran. Recent developments have seen a rise in diplomatic efforts, hinting at a possible de-escalation. But the road to peace is paved with uncertainty. The situation is akin to a high-stakes chess match, each move calculated, each decision bearing heavy consequences. The power dynamics are fluid, and the game is far from over. While no direct war is desired by any party, the undercurrents of tension continue to ripple, affecting not just these nations, but the global community at large. Looking ahead, several potential scenarios could unfold. Will we see a continuation of strained relations, or perhaps a breakthrough in peace negotiations? Maybe even an unexpected turn of events. The possibilities are as varied as they are unpredictable. Regardless of what the future holds, one thing remains clear. The efforts towards conflict resolution must continue unabated. This isn't just about these three nations, it's about the potential impact on global peace and stability. While the future remains uncertain, understanding the complexities of this conflict is the first step towards finding a resolution.